Hi everyone, I'm Angela. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to have another project analysis, the Canberra Crescent residences. It might be one of the cheapest launched in 2025. Let's take a look. So let's go on to the project info first. We have a total of 376 units, total 4 blocks of 12-story residential. We have a Sky Garden at Block 55 and Block 57. And one good thing which is, I would say that is very good, which is actually there's a childcare center at Block 51. So besides this, it's also about 7 to 8 minutes walks to the Canberra MRT and Canberra Plaza. Understand that 8 minutes walk is definitely not very near, okay? So we can discuss more about this later. And it's also a harmonized project in Canberra, and it's going to TOP in 2030. So first of all, let's ensure that everybody that we have raised a lot of concerns that when it comes to Canberra. One of the major reasons is definitely this: there's too many ECs nearby that will affect their future competition. We can see from the map, okay, the Canberra MRT is here. So there's already a lot of EC around, like Province Residences, we have Vision Air, we have Brownstone, and we have One Canberra over here as well. So we can see that there's numerous EC. A lot of buyers will actually be worried that, okay, when we sell in the future, they will actually be our future competition, especially Province Residences, because it actually just hit TOP. So by the time it MOP, right, it will be very, very close to Canberra Crescent Residences, the TOP date. The second reason that why people actually might walk away is because it's actually low-rise nature. So what do you mean low-rise means what? The highest is actually only 12th floor. So it means shows that there will highly likely there will be no views. Yeah, so in front of the Canberra is actually a lot of BTOs, okay? So if you're a person that is actually looking for very nice views, so I think that Canberra Crescent will not be a choice for you. Another reason is that the price gap comparing the older condos in the north area. So this is definitely something that people will not ignore. As we can see that nearby condos that, like example, that's near the MRT is like Yishun Sapphire is only going at about 1.3 million. Yishun Emerald is only going at about 1.25, and 8 Courtyard is only going at about 1.4 million. So coming into Canberra Crescent, right, the launching price most likely, if average we're estimating at about 1850 to 19, I think it will be a very good price. But if anything above 2000, right, a lot of buyers will be actually having the thought that, will I lose money in the future comparing with all these older condos? And the last reason is always, I believe that Singaporeans are quite spoiled lah. So even it's like 300 meter, I think it's still considered far. So being 800 meter away, so 800 meter away, I think maybe about, I would say that at least a good 15 minutes walk. Okay, so I think this one is always in a lot of Singaporeans' mind that, oh, not near MRT means, okay, it will affect my profits. This is actually also one of the reasons that why some people will walk away from this project. Before we actually enter into the unit mix and the different layouts, okay, I will use actually a price metric based on these estimates, okay. Since the land bid is about 783 per square feet, okay, I will do an estimation of the lower floor will be about 1,850 per square feet, and the highest floor will be actually on about 2,200 per square feet. So I will say that based on my own estimation, I believe the project being like on the last few launches, and actually on the EC for Orel of Tampines already launching at about 17 to 18, right? Canberra Crescent definitely cannot be launching too low. Being in the north area, I think my estimate will be average, I think will be 19, actually will be 19 to about 1950, I think will be very, very comfortable for the buyers entering. Come now, let's take a look at the unit mix first, okay? So I have the 1-bedroom all the way to the 4-bedroom premium, okay? So something very interesting about this project is that you can see from here, 1-bedroom, there's only 3 units. Yes, 3. Out of the 376 units, there's only 3 units. Why do it only have 3 units? Because I think the developer understand that this area, being the Canberra area, is upcoming all the BTO upgraders and a lot of families. So 1 bedroom in here may not be enticing to other bedroom layouts. Yeah, so we can see that also we have the 2-bedroom compact, 2-bedroom premium, 3-bedroom compact, and mostly, of course, the percentage still belongs to the 3-bedroom. And lastly, the 4-bedroom will actually also have 3 different layouts, which consists of about 22%. So let's move on. Okay, one bedroom analysis. Okay, so for this one bedroom, I mean a very straightforward one because there's only 3 units so I do a quick one which only about 409 square feet. Suitable for people that actually still want to enter in a new launch. If looking at even I give an example, even at 2,000 per square feet, right? If the developer gonna launch, I think it's only at 818,000. In 2025, you will hardly to find anything in a new launch that is below $1 million. So you have to be the lucky tree. Moving on to the 2-bed 1-bath layout. Okay, we actually have stack 1 and stack 9. It consists of 570 square feet. Layout is very standard. It actually is a dumbbell layout, which now most of the developer is actually using because it's space efficient. You will know there's no much wasted space. Actually harmonized. So it means based on 570, right? So it will actually look bigger than 570 because of the harmonization. This is also the price metrics actually have done. On my own prediction, I think will be at least between the 19 to 1950 range. I think it's still very, very attractive on below 1.2 million to get a new launch 2-bed 1-bath. Coming to the 2-bed 2-bath is 667 square feet. We have a total of 68 units. As we can see, there's also a total of 6 different stacks, different facing. Just to share the main difference is actually at the location of the study. One is on the left and one is on the right. The rest, same. We have actually dumbbell layout, 2 attached bathroom. So for I will say that small families, okay, you can actually have your own individual toilet for the individual rooms. Yeah, and also one thing is that also the common bathroom also come with 2 doors. So your friends when coming to your place, right, will not actually need to walk into your bedroom to go to the restroom. Yeah, so I think this is something a lot of people actually is concerned, privacy. We come into the resale market, right, and people will tend to compare the other condos actually near around your area. So let's take a look between Canberra Crescent Resi, the 2-bed 1-bath, and Water Gardens. So Water Gardens is also a private condo that actually have just TOP earlier this year, and is actually very near to the Canberra MRT, but just on the other side of the MRT. So for Canberra Resi is 570 square feet, and for Water Gardens is 646 square feet. But you can see that if I base on the estimation price of 1950 is at about 1.11 million, and the transacted for Water Gardens already transacted is already at 1.152. Okay, so actually based on the size, right, you can see that it's actually almost I would say that it's very, very similar. Okay, both is actually a dumbbell layout, but the only difference I would say that Canberra Resi is on an open concept kitchen, while Water Gardens is actually more of an enclosed kitchen. I think this is something that just be real and honest. I think preference people will surely prefer the Water Gardens a close-up kitchen layout, because regardless whether you are a family or you are even a single or a couple, right, I think nowadays people always don't really like these open concept kitchen ideas anymore. Yeah, so in these 2 layout, I was thinking that Water Gardens will actually win comparing to Canberra Crescent residents. Let's take a look at the numbers as well, because I believe that 2-bed 1-bath or 2-bed 2-bath will actually have a lot of investors who are actually going into the project. Okay, so let's take a look comparing 2-bed 1-bath and 2-bed 2-bath. For example, based on the per square feet as I mentioned, okay, 2-bed 1-bath will be about 1.11 million, and 2-bed 2-bath will be about 1.334 million. So in the investment total that is actually needed for to enter in the project is about 277, and this is about 333. So the gross profit, right, for the Water Gardens, I will take up Water Gardens because since actually he have been transacted, right, for 2-bed 1-bath, the gross profit is about 130,000, and for 2-bed 2-bath, right, their gross profit is about 210,000. So if based on these numbers, right, the ROI, right, for 2-bed 1-bath, right, is about 46%, which is quite good. But however, 2-bed 2-bath, right, okay, the ROI is actually 63%. So I personally feel that 2-bed 2-bath will actually be a better investment between the 2 bedrooms. So next thing, how do we actually determine a safe entry price for Canberra Crescent? Okay, we have actually taken Water Gardens at Canberra, which actually I mentioned earlier on, just TOP not long, and already have transactions data, right? The accepted per square feet for water gardens, okay, is already about 1833 per square feet. Okay, so and taking aback that is water gardens is actually not harmonized. So what we do is that usually harmonized project is at about another 7%. So the actual per square feet is already accepted is already about 1961 per square feet. So coming back to Canberra Crescent residents, if the estimation about between 1850 to 2001, of course I personally think that if at 2001 per square feet for a Canberra project, I think probably will be a bit too high. So if anytime the developer going to launch between 1950, okay, or 1009 to 1950, I think is a very, very attractive price, because the price that people are accepting now, you can see is already at 1.46, 1.45. So for us to enter at about 1.3, I think is very, very, very safe. So next one, coming slightly bold to the new launches, which is actually at the north side also, which is Norwood Grand. I believe everybody have heard about this project. Okay, so Norwood Grand is actually one of the harmonized project that is actually in the Woodland side. The highest transacted is at 2,200 per square feet already. So you ask me, Woodlands is slightly definitely further than Canberra, and being Norwood Grand is also actually not on the main line, while Canberra is actually on the main red line. So if they can already have this 2217 per square feet transacted already, means people already have purchased it and accepted this price. People that are actually looking for a good investment and a good buy, I think that this is definitely a launch that you should look into. Stepping into the three-bedder layout, okay, we have a total of 4 different layouts, which is 797 square feet and 872 square feet, 883 square feet, and the last one is the 990 square feet. So let's take a look at the 797 square feet first and the 872. For the 797, I think it will, this is my own thoughts lah. I think that it will actually sell out very fast because of the quantum. Let's take a look. If a 797, take for example, if you want to launch at 1950 per square feet, right, it's only looking at 1.554 for a proper 3-bedder. Let's look at it first. So once we enter, right, we have an L-shaped kitchen. So this one, right, actually is still enclosable if you want, but personally, I think it actually self-preference lah, because if you close up, I only afraid that the corridor might be a bit too dark. Okay, same thing is actually a dumbbell layout instead of a traditional layout. So you can see most of the compact 3-bedders, right, is always traditional layout, but this one is of a dumbbell layout, means there's no wasted space. So the size, I think, is very, very sizable. It's perfect for small families. Or coming to 872, so the main difference between the 797 and the 872 square feet, right, is that actually once we come in, okay, we have a small little a foyer over here. So for people that actually do not like people to look directly into your unit, I think this one is actually a good choice. Okay, we have, and you can see that good thing is very super. I think 872, they can still fit in a dry kitchen and a wet kitchen, and one more thing, still fit in a study. Yes, a study. 872 square feet, 3 proper bedroom that can fit in queen size bed and still can fit in a study. This layout is really very, very nice and thoughtful. Yeah, and all the rooms, as I mentioned earlier, all can fit in queen size bed. So for this study, I think it's very flexible. So either act as a storeroom, or even, or if you don't need a storeroom, you can actually always convert it in a study, you know, or a piano room, or if you have a helper, you can always actually convert to a helper's room as well. To another 872 square feet, okay, this is something very unique because there's only 4 units actually on the top floor. And what is the difference between this 872 and the earlier on 872 is that the main thing is that you have actually a walk-in wardrobe at the master bedroom. It compromises that you do not have a small little foyer when we enter lah. So for people that actually they want to have a huge master bedroom, okay, instead of the foyer or the study, these top 4 units will be actually your good choice. And coming to the next layout, which is the 883 square feet. Okay, so the main difference of this one and comparing to the 872 earlier on, which is this 872 layout, okay, the main difference is that it will come, it comes with windows in the toilet. So you can see over here. So why I emphasize this, because nowadays, I mean, based on my experience in the resale market, right, a lot of people will actually tend to call me, say, hey, Angela, 3-bedroom, does it come, I mean, the toilet got windows or not? So this is actually very crucial to a lot of people because due to our weather in Singapore, right, okay, our weather is very, very humid. So without the windows, right, and they will be replaced by the ventilation fan, right, a lot of people tend to have this issue. They'll have mold actually at the ceiling. So having the windows is definitely a plus point for a 3-bedroom. Looking at the price metrics again, I believe for 3-bedroom, if can launch it at 1,009 square feet, I think it's very attractive, because now I would frankly to say, like in the market, how can you buy some 3-bedroom for below 2 million? It's really very rare. I would say that probably, I think until now, I think because the recent launches is all the CCR, so definitely you won't see this happening. Looking for a 3-bedder investment or own stay, looking at anything about 1,009 to 1,950 square feet, I think is, I would say that 不用想啦, no need to think. Okay. Yeah, last but not least, we have actually come to this 3-bedroom premium. Okay, so this 3-bedroom premium is 990 square feet. So the difference is that you have an additional household shelter and a WC. Personally, I will feel that this one will be actually an upgrader's choice, maybe from the BTOs or actually or 4-room BTOs, because size-wise, they will still want to prefer to have a bigger size. But let's take a look at the whole layout. Same thing, will have a small foyer when we enter, and the good thing is that they actually tuck the home shelter at the side of the house. Tuck it at the side of here. Actually, I think it's very thoughtful, because you can either convert it into your storeroom, or you can be a helper's room or miscellaneous. But here you can see that on top of here we can actually, other than home shelter, we still have a study. So this one can easily be your helper's room. Yeah, and over here we can also have an additional WC. So convenient for those who want to have more toilet in your house, or for your helper wise. So coming to the price again, of course, I think price is definitely always the key to entering, definitely one of the key thing, the key attribute to either enter into the project or not. Let's take a look at the difference of the water gardens again. We can see that the transacted price, the accepted per square feet is already at 1,753. So take 1,753. So I take 1,753 per square feet plus the 7% will be actually the accepted per square feet is about 1,875 per square feet for water gardens. So like I shared earlier on, if we are going to launch at about 19 to 1950, the price is also about 16 or 17, right? So you can see that the price is also, at least looking at the price quantum, is also about 16. The gap between the new and the resale is actually very close. So I give you a very simple example. Now, iPhone 16 is selling the same price as iPhone 13. Which one will you buy? I think the answer is very clear. So coming to the 4-bedroom layout, we have the 1163 square feet and we have the 1173 square feet. Take a look at 1163 square feet layout first. We can see that once we come in, actually we have the foyer. Of course, we have the dry and the wet kitchen, and we come with a small yard to do all your laundry and everything. And we have the home shelter inside the kitchen area. And the good thing for this 4-bedroom layout for Canberra Crescent, I think is very good, is that the 3-bedroom, not only the 3-bedroom comes with the study and the 4-bedroom as well. So it means that you don't need to sacrifice your study for your helper's room, which I think that this is always a very crucial problem again when we step in the resale market, because a lot of 4-bedrooms, either they have to convert the store into the helper's room. If I have the helper and convert into a helper's room, my store will be gone. So where I keep all my barang. So with this, I think Canberra Crescent do a very good job in a way. They not only have the home shelter, and they all also comes with a study. Yeah, and come to the 1173 square feet, also the same layout. I think the major difference is only about maybe a slightly longer living area. The rest is all the same, and of course the window, all the toilets comes with windows. So looking at the price metrics, for 4-bedroom, I believe also will be actually because of a bigger size. If 1850 per square feet or the 1,009 per square feet. So take for example, if we are looking at 1163 or 1173, we are looking at about 2.1 million to 2.2 million range. Given now at the market, I think is very rare, because 2.2 million at some of the places, I think you can only buy a 3-bedroom and without a study. So now you have a 4-bedroom plus a study plus a home shelter. Very good entry price for family upgraders. Another two layout for the 4-bedroom is the 1216 square feet and the 1324 square feet. For this 1216 square feet, the main difference comparing to the earlier on, the smaller size, right, is just that we have a wider living and dining area. So you can see that here is wider compared to the earlier on, the 1163 and 1173 layout. And also one thing is that you have an additional bathroom over here. So you can see that here, over here. So instead of just now earlier on, only bedroom 3 is on the Jack and Jill, we can see that in now bedroom 2 is also have its own toilet itself. So it means if we have one toilet over here, we have the master toilet, we have the bedroom, the third bathroom, and the last one is also the WC over here. And also, of course, it still comes at the side, home shelter tucked at the side. So for people that actually do not like the home shelter to be tucked inside the kitchen, okay, they can always choose this layout because the study have moved from here earlier on to here. Yeah. So it really depends on your own preference. Coming to the 1324 square feet, which is the biggest 4-bedroom layout. Okay, we can see that once we step in the foyer, same thing, we have the home shelter tucked at the side of the unit, and we come with the study, or of course we can convert it into a helper's room. Okay, there's link actually to the kitchen. We have a bigger dry kitchen, and one good thing we understand, you can see that from this bathroom 3, right, is connected to bedroom 4 and bedroom 3. So it means as good to see, we can see that all the bedrooms are en suite. And one good thing for ladies, the master bedroom, it comes with a small mini walk-in wardrobe. Okay, I think that no need to complain there's not enough place to hang your clothes anymore. So this layout is definitely perfect for a bigger family. But my star choice will still be this 1216 square feet. But I think that based on the price or quantum wise and the size, I think it's efficient, good enough for upgraded family. Coming to the price, okay, again we are using Water Gardens, the nearby projects, okay, as a benchmark. Okay, so as we can see from February 2025, right, Water Gardens, which have actually just TOP, the transacted price, right, is already at 2.33 million for a 4-bedroom. Yeah, so the accepted price is about 2.33, and for Commodore is actually another project just next to Water Gardens, and you can see that the 4-bedroom transacted prices is already at 2.45. It means people are already in this North Canberra area, people are already accepting 2.33 and 2.45 for a 4-bedroom. So coming back to Canberra Crescent again, if I taking example of 1,009 per square feet or 1,950 per square feet, the medium range, okay, the 4-bedroom, the starting price will be about 2.2 and 2.209 and 2.28, or 2.267 and 2.287. Even on the high side, it will still be about 2.31 and 2.37, which is still at the price, I would say that slightly below the transacted price of Water Gardens and Commodore. So given this gap, right, entering into Canberra Crescent is definitely a safe choice. So, and one more plus bonus points I would like to share for this Canberra area is that the 4 bedrooms in this area, right, total we have like looking about, of course, the mixture of EC like Visionaire, Water Gardens, One Canberra, Brownstone. Of course, I never even put aside like Yishun Sapphire and Yishun Emerald, which is actually the older project in 8 Courtyard. There's a total of 559 4 bedrooms in the whole in all these projects. So let's see how many units are selling in the resale market now. To my surprise, when I do a check, there's only 58 units out of the 559 units selling in the area. So what does it mean? It means actually the 4 bedrooms is in very, very high demand. Okay, although and can say that the supply is not much. Although there's 500 over units, but it's only about 10% selling. So the plus point for you actually to enter into Canberra Crescent residence for the 4-bedders, you exit, I'm sure that there will be a bigger pool of buyers, because you can see from here the trend of moving into the bigger units is rising. So just now earlier on, I actually discussed that why people actually will walk away from Canberra Crescent residences. So now I would also like to share that why buying Canberra Crescent residences could be a smart move either. First reason is actually there's a very high demand in the area. Just Canberra itself, you can see that behind the plot of land at Canberra Link, okay, we can see that this huge pool of BTOs. So there will be actually definitely there will be one of your pool of the buyers in the future, because when they MOP, because they are the families they're staying nearby. So regardless of your kids' school, you know, or maybe you're staying nearby your parents, and your parents are staying nearby, and they will look after your grandkid, your children, right? I'm sure that you will not want your parents to go and take a MRT all the way to another place to look after your kids. So they are definitely one of the first pool of people that will actually buy Canberra Crescent residences as their upgrade choice. Yeah. So of course, beside this BTO, right, we can also see that other than Canberra itself, we also have actually the Yishun, the Yishun side. We also have the Woodland side. It also have a lot of BTO. There's a lot of BTO that's going to be MOP. They are also your pool of buyers in the future. So second thing, okay, because of the BTO prices, right, in the north area, right, is also getting higher and higher. So what does it mean? It means actually the people that can afford the condos, right, is also, their affordability is also higher. And take a look at the nearby BTOs that actually are selling now. You can see that Canberra 126B is already selling at 880, 848 and 800 is all crossing over all the 750k mark or 800 mark, and some of them at Woodlands, right, you can see is already crossing at about 800 over to 900 over k already. So definitely this pool of people, you ask me whether they can afford a brand new 3-bedder condo, definitely no problem. So another thing means that people actually have these thoughts, right, and I'm sure that I think like everybody have this in this thing in their mind is that, right, Canberra Crescent Resi being so nearby to all the ECs around. So what will be actually the future competition? People will sure choose EC, because EC cheaper. So why would I want to buy Canberra Crescent in the future? So let's take a look at the recent transaction for I have take example for the Vision Air, which have TOP in 2018, the EC that's actually in Canberra, and the Commodore just TOP in 2024. So we can see that, right, for Vision Air, right, the average per square feet, right, is about 1467 per square feet for Vision Air, and Commodore, right, the average per square feet is already at about 1,800 per square feet, and we can see that all these are already transacted prices. Okay, so we can see that for EC, between an EC and condo, right, there's still a very huge gap difference of 333 per square feet difference having a condo and an EC within the same area. Yeah, so this is something that I would like clear a lot of people's doubts, and people will think that, wow, if I buy something, buy a private condo that's near EC, end up the price will actually be very close and I cannot profit. So this is a very good example that is actually not true. People are still willing to actually pay more for a condo. The reason why that people willing to actually pay a bit more for resale condo, private condo compared to EC, right? I would say that it's due to the the first impression. When you enter into the whole development, landscape, the facilities, everything, the layout, the quality of the whole unit. I have taken another example that is actually at the District 19, which is Huron Bay, TOP actually in 2015, and Riverfront Residences, which actually TOP in 2024. Huron Bay, right, the average transaction about 1,300 per square feet. You can see that about 121313. So average is about 1,300 per square feet. And take a look at Riverfront Residence, which is a private condo. You can see the average is about 1,700 per square feet. Still can see a $400 per square feet difference. Okay, I think it's also, as I mentioned, I think it's more or less is the same. I mean, those people actually have gone into Huron Bay and Riverfront, right? You can definitely see a big difference when come into the landscape. Riverfront will say, wow, because the land size is very big. Okay, got a lot of facilities compared to Huron Bay. The plot land is much smaller. And I think landscape is really crucial because it actually gives it's not like new launches where you is the first impression is very important when you actually step into the condo. Another reason that why people earlier on I mentioned that will actually walk away from this project Canberra Crescent, right, is because of the distance from the MRT and will affect the profit. Okay, I would like to actually clear this myth. Okay, using sharing one of the example. So let's take a look at Key Residence. Key Residence is actually very is deep inside. So when this project is launched, right, everybody also have this issue: no MRT. How? So we'll lose money and all. I mean, a lot of people actually are skeptical to actually enter in the project. So now let's see. Fast forward. Okay, all the they actually have TOP already, and you can see that the transacted price and also the profit. We have a very decent profit. Even the maximum is 687,000, or even average is also about 386,000 profit. From this project, we can see that MRT may not be the key attributes to the profit of the unit itself. Okay, so maybe other attributes, like example, the layouts as well, also plays an important part. So another example, which is Riverfront Residences, which I just mentioned, okay, is also not near MRT, and Whistler Grand. Highest profit they make is about 966,000, and average we can also see about 300 plus, 400 plus, and 200 plus. So if the profit is actually very healthy, even though it's not walkable to the MRT. And coming to Whistler Grand, so Whistler Grand is another project at the West Coast side. Definitely we're not walking distance to the MRT. Okay, we can see the profit is still also very, very healthy. You can see average of 600 plus and 700, and average also have about 400,000 profit. Near MRT, of course, is a very safe. Of course, you have a very good safety net, but not near MRT doesn't mean that it will not profit. Last thing is that about the price for Canberra Crescent. Maybe people will compare the prices for the nearby condos and the newer condos or the older condos, but I think that is not a very fair comparison, because it's not an apple-to-apple comparison. Because like I say, like I mentioned earlier on, just now, if you have an iPhone 13 and an iPhone 16, you cannot compare, right? Because you see, we will still, although iPhone 16 definitely cost more than the iPhone 13, or I like to say, example, a pair of shoes. About a pair of new basketball shoes is $300. The pair of resale is only maybe, okay, the person give you $100 discount, $200. It's not much difference, but I'm sure that you will still will want to buy a new pair of shoes. Yeah, so comparing the old and the new, and especially like when at Canberra Crescent, right, we're actually comparing like very, very old projects like Yishun Sapphire or Yishun Emerald, like the private condo is already more than 20 years old. So it's really very difficult to compare with Canberra Crescent Residences. Let's take a look like the new launches that is actually happening at the north side. So you can see that Norwood Grand, which is at Woodlands, just I mentioned already, at the Champions Way, the highest transacted is already at 2252 per square feet already. So average is about 2217, 22. At Woodlands already transacted at above 2,000 per square feet already. So for you, if I tell you to enter Canberra Crescent Residences at 1,009 to 1,950, am I right to say that it's actually very safe for you, even when you want to exit? Because for people that actually have buy in Norwood Grand at 2,200 per square feet, I'm sure they will not want to sell at 2,200 per square feet. So you have actually almost $300 per square feet buffer for you to actually exit in the future. Next, another project which is Hillock Green. So Hillock Green is actually at the Lentor Central Port. We know that, but anyway, it's already almost, I think almost 100% sold out already lah. U1 also don't have already. So the highest transacted, you can see that is average about 2419, 2380, 2344. These are already transacted prices. They are the people that have already purchased, and they help you to cushion your price already. I've come to the end of this project analysis for Canberra Crescent Residences. So all in all, this is not a perfect, 100% perfect project, but if it's with the right price and the right strategy, this might be the smart move for you. If you need any help on the which stack or which layout to choose, or during the preview, or you would like to visit the SHOWFLAT, do hit me up and I shall hear from you soon. And not forgetting to like and share and subscribe to my channel for further property insights. Thank you. Bye-bye.